I got my start in acting. Let me see. It seems to me I've been acting all my life. My mother told me that when I was just a wee bairn, she took me to church and put me in a manger because I played the Christ child in a Christmas pageant. I guess that's true because she never lied to me about things like that. And I loved acting all my life. At the church, we would have pageants, and they would give us a little poem to say on a piece of cardboard, which we would try to memorize, and then we would perform at the Christmas pageant. And I would get my cardboard, and I would take everyone else. This is terrible, isn't it? I'd take everyone else's and memorize theirs. In case they went up, I would help them. I'd jump in and give them a clue. But anyway, further on down the line, I was lucky enough to to win an academic scholarship to Princeton. I was going to be a lawyer. So I'm studying there at Princeton, and I had done a couple of plays during the school year, and I was invited to come and join the company for a summer stock theater company that they had at Princeton called the University Players. Well, I would love to have done that, and I was required as a scholarship student to earn like $400 during the summer to supplement my income. Otherwise, I worked in the dining halls and things. So I went to see my professor, dean of admissions, and I told him the situation that I was invited for the summer stock company. I would love to do it, but they didn't pay any money at all. And he said, well, here it is. He said, I think that the purpose of any college education, especially here at Princeton, is simply to help you find how to best enjoy the rest of your life. And he said, why do that gets to me. I think that was so beautiful. Anyway, my college dean said, our purpose here is to simply, to give you a college education, is to help you best find out how to best enjoy the rest of your life. If this will be part of that process, we will consider it part of your curriculum and increase your scholarship or make you eligible for a student loan, if that's what you want to do. So I went to Summer Stock Company, and I played there for 2 seasons. It's very interesting because I just took my daughter, Nicole, she's only 16. We went back to my college reunion in June this year. I showed her the little theater on team where I started acting. And in the lobby, there was one photograph on the wall, and it was a cast picture of a play that I had done. It was a Shakespearean play, As You Like It, I believe it was. No, it was The Tempest, because I played Caliban. And seated in the front row in front of us was Albert Einstein, who was there as teaching at Princeton, and he saw our Shakespearean productions. So there was that one photograph, there was me in my Caliban outfit, and she was kind of, I guess, proud. One of the students came up and said, where'd you find the dude to play Einstein? I said, well, the dude was here, so we let him play it himself, Anyway, that's where I got started. 2 seasons of summer stock, the University Players, and instead of going to Harvard Law School, where I was intended to be an attorney, instead I went to New York and started studying with Lee Strasberg, and that was the beginning of this whole thing. I got involved with Land of the Lost. I had just come off another nighttime series, Planet of the Apes, another science fiction film series. It should have gone on longer, but it didn't. They may have seen me in that, I don't know, but they got in touch with my agent who called me, and I came down and I read for John Kubichan, I think was our producer then. And I think they called me within a couple of days and said, we're starting next week, so I came down and I wanted to do it. I have done 6 series, 5 primetime series, not one hit, and Land of the Lost. And I got to tell you, I am best known for Land of the Lost than for all the other 5 put together. I took my daughter this Christmas back to Turtle Creek, my hometown in Pennsylvania, and we went to my little church that I would go to on Sunday. This is just a couple of months ago. And the minister nice young man. He delivered a sermon, and afterwards, he came down to the pew where we're sitting and extended his hand. And he said, "Why do I want to keep singing Land of the Lost?" The stories that we told on Land of the Lost were much more exciting than the ones we did at nighttime on Planet of the Apes. I guess John Kubichan, I think it was his name. He wrote most of our stories, particularly, I think, in some of the really good ones. And he broke down a lot of the Greek myths, like he did the story about the Medusa, and he did about the Flying Dutchman who sails on the wind. Much more imaginative. It was fun to do all those. As far as the cast, they seemed to like me. I mean, we seemed to get along very well, particularly with Will. Very fond of Will. He was, he sings the title song, I believe. He's a good singer and a dancer, wonderful actor. He was working on a soap. I think it was Days of Our Lives. And that's very good training for an actor. I've also done 6 soaps, and I know what that requires. And it's very interesting because it is so fast. You don't have the luxury of the time like shooting a feature or even a nighttime series. You've got to identify that emotion that you need immediately and then project it quickly without fooling around, because it's all shot in one day and the next day is something else. So he was good. He's on his toes. I think Land of the Lost has survived, and in the beginning I was kind of surprised that it was, because there weren't that many episodes. The year that I did, we did 13, but they kept repeating them. As I said, it didn't bother the children that they knew what was coming. They sort of looked forward to knowing what the next move was. Basically, I think the stories were very good. I think the stories drove the basis of the show, and I think each generation of children, as they come up and are exposed to it, like those stories and remember them, pass them right on. I've been showing them. I have about 3 tapes of them, and I've been showing them to my daughter since she was 5. And she still, of all my series, loves Land of the Lost best, and she's 16 now. She still loves them. Great stories. This fall, I did 2 independent features. One was called The Glass Cage. It was just science fiction, as a matter of fact, about gigantic atomic fused ants that devastate this high tower. And a very good director, Fred Olin Ray, who I had done another one with him about rattlesnakes, venom. And then the second one was called Touched, a drama, a very serious one about a guy who's in shock and has witnessed the death of his 5-year-old son. And when this nurse, played by Jenna Elfman, who did a great job, brings him out of it, he's lost all sensation of touch, which that's where it gets its title from. And it's a real medical condition, which I was not that aware of. And gradually she brings him around. I play a doctor who helps him. I love doing those. Those are very low-budget movies, you know that. But as I say to my daughter sometimes, I've come full cycle. When I first started acting, like in the church plays and in high school when I did that, I never got any money, but never even thought of it. Then I started making a little money, and a little bit more, and a little bit. Then I made some more money, and then a little bit less. And now I'm doing acting just for the love of it, which I guess is the reason why I got into it in the first place.